How's it going?
Good so far. The DA has been able to pin the gun on Dad. Thought they found it in Kate's office.
Call your next witness, Mr. Martinez.
I wish that were possible, Your Honor. At this time, I'd like to introduce into evidence a statement that Mr. Zacchara made to the police.
Objection.
On what grounds?
I don't know, the Sixth Amendment. My client has the right to cross-examine any testimony offered by the prosecution.
Is there a reason Mr. Zacchara can't appear before this court?
Fear, Your Honor. His attorney, Angela Dwyer, filed a motion asking that he be excused from testifying in person for fear of his life.
I'm good, Your Honor, but I don't recall a time when I have ever cross-examined a witness and they've dropped dead.
Fear of reprisal from your client, Ms. Davis.
If Mr. Zacchara were so afraid of my client, perhaps he should have gotten an order of protection.
Mr. Martinez?
Perhaps Mr. Zacchara felt that given Mr. Corinthos' profession...
Mr. Corinthos is a coffee importer.
Any attempt at all to enlist the help of the police would trigger a violent reprisal from Mr. Corinthos and or his associates.
Unless Mr. Zacchara is allergic to caffeine, his claim that my client is a risk is inflammatory and prejudicial.
All right, enough. Strike the DA's last remark and Ms. Davis's rebuttal. Counselors, this is your last warning. Stick to the evidence before us.
But that's the problem, Your Honor. The witness is not before us, so I can't ask him any questions. So I'm asking the court to deny counsel's request that Mr. Zacchara's statement to the police be allowed as evidence.
So ruled.
That's not fair. That's not fair. Anthony told me himself that he saw something shoot out his tires.
Not another word, young lady, or I'll have you thrown out of my courtroom.
Your Honor, if the officer who took Mr. Zacchara's statement were to deliver it as sworn testimony, would that be acceptable?
Hearsay, Your Honor.
If Mr. Zacchara's testimony is so vital to your case, then I suggest you find a way to prevail upon him to appear.
Sorry I'm late. Couldn't find the parking space. Miss anything?
Who are you?
Anthony Zacchara.
It seems my next witness is ready to take the stand, Your Honor.
So you're telling us that you were speeding along a winding road at night with the headlights of the car behind you glaring into your rearview mirror, and yet you were able to see the face of the shooter 50 feet behind you?
50 feet? I wish. Son of a bitch was tailgating. Pardon my French.
Mr. Zacchara, you're no stranger to the courtroom, are you?
Objection. Prejudicial.
I just want to make sure that Mr. Zacchara understands the penalty for perjury.
Objection. Your Honor, Ms. Davis is clearly using innuendo to undermine the witness.
Sustained. Let's skip the editorializing, Miss Davis, and get on to your question.
Mr. Zacchara, despite the speeding vehicles, the dark night, the high beams, you're able to identify the shooter as Mr. Corinthos.
Yes. His son, the cop who took my statement, he didn't want to believe me either. But it doesn't change the facts.
Which are?
I've got great eyesight.
Really?
I eat a lot of carrots.
Good for you. Mr. Zacchara, would you be so kind as to read this for the court?
It's fine print a mile away, Counselor.
And yet you can see Mr. Corinthos' face through a tinted windshield at night. How about this? No further questions.
Redirect, Your Honor. Mr. Zacchara, Miss Davis's clever theatrics aside, is it your sworn testimony that you recognize the defendant, Sonny Corinthos, as the man who shot out your tires?
That's right.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You step down, Mr. Zacchara.
Sorry, kid. I tried my best.
Any further witnesses, Mr. Martinez?
Prosecution rests, Your Honor.
Prosecution has rested. The defense will now present its case. Ms. Davis, call your first witness.
The defense will not be calling any witnesses, Your Honor.
No witnesses?
What the hell?
do one?
My job.
Okay, but as much money as I pay you, you could have gotten an expert witness who put me on the stand.
And have the DA cross-examine you? No way. The defense rests, Your Honor.
He's going to tell you that Mr. Corinthos is too smart a man to leave a gun behind in his girlfriend's office. But by Miss Howard's own admission, she and Mr. Corinthos were caught up in a moment of passion. Clothes were shed. Now, it's the state's contention that in the heat of this moment, Mr. Corinthos dropped his gun on the very spot where the police recovered it. Mr. Corinthos openly admitted his intention to murder Anthony Zacchara. Mr. Zacchara swore that he saw Mr. Corinthos shoot out his tires. As I promised, all you have to do is follow the logic. Sonny Corinthos had motive, means, and opportunity. For the sake of that little girl and her father who both died, for the sake of a grieving mother whose life has been shattered, I ask that you convict Michael Sonny Corinthos on all counts.
Well, the district attorney is right about one thing. Justice does need to be found for that little girl and her father that were killed on that awful night. But it is not just to convict the wrong man, and you have heard witness after witness swear that Mr. Corinthos did not shoot anyone, with the exception of Anthony Zacchara, whose integrity is questionable as his eyesight. All right, let's talk about the gun that was found in Miss Howard's office. That gun could have been left by anyone. It could have been left by the cleaning staff. It could have been left by Miss Howard's staff at Crimson. It could have been left by Miss Howard. So really, all you have is a story made up by the prosecution to try to explain this horrible accident. But it's all conjecture, speculation. No proof. There is no proof. Because the story that the prosecution told you isn't true. Mr. Corinthos did not cause the accident that killed Cole and Hope Thornhart. But somebody did. And the police need to be able to find that person. So I am asking you to do the right thing and acquit my client. The cops need to get back to work. Thank you.
Yeah. What's going on at the trial? All right. Well, hopefully the jury does the right thing and Sonny goes to prison for life.